Good evening, everyone. Yay! It's Friday. It's doctor's orders. And we are super excited. At least I always am because I get to spend time with Buddy, my personal Dr. Google, the transformation coach, Coach Carla Joy. And we come together every Friday night to talk about trending top health topics or just life in general. And tonight I'm excited because I believe we will be talking about heart disease. And in case you don't know, we are part of a healthy living community known as the Juice Plus community. And Juice Plus began in 1970. However, we were the company that introduced smoke detectors to the world in 1970. That's where we began as NSA. And then in 1983, we introduced air filtration and water filtration. And then in 1993, yes, Juice Plus came to the marketplace, and we have been the OG of whole food plant-based nutrition. And I'm excited, and Dr. Carla is going to talk a little bit about that. So, Dr. Carla, the floor is all yours.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. Thank all of you for being here with us this evening. And I have a couple questions. How many of you would like to be pain free or exhaustion free? Raise your hand. Or how many of you want your energy back and want to stop living in fear of your next major crisis or your next doctor's visit that where you get bad news? Well, if that's you, you're in the right place. And anybody can have what they're looking for if they're looking for a healthy U-turn. So, welcome to Doctor's Orders. I'm Coach Carla Joy, as you've heard. I'm a medically trained whole food plant based coach. And for those of you who don't yet know me, I would like to just share my story. Some of you may know me already, and I'd like to share how I discovered the hope that I want to share with you this evening. So, if it's okay that I take just a couple of minutes to share a little bit of how I learned all about this, is that okay? Say yes. Okay. You may notice me reading. It's because I don't want to forget any of the points that I'm going to share with you today. Well, think of being in an exam room, a doctor's exam room, because even medically trained professionals have to go visit their doctor. So I was there waiting for my doctor's results. And think of how cold it usually is in those rooms. Anyway, here comes my doctor, and she gives me the diagnosis of having high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and prediabetes. I was in shock. I thought I was the healthiest person that I knew. Have you ever felt the shock of an unexpected diagnosis? Have you ever felt the frustration of thinking that you're doing everything that you should and it's not enough? And have you ever felt the fear of realizing that you or a loved one are now a statistic? Maybe you felt the confusion of realizing that everything that you've trusted, this whole system that you've put your whole life in and that you've invested in for your future, was not protecting you. It was not working. Well, that's how I felt. And I began to search for new answers. I had to go outside of the box. But how do you go outside of all that you know? How do you go outside to find something new? Well, I asked a friend, and you know my friend, Ruth Presley. I asked her, what was she doing? Because she was on her health journey and she was surviving, but no, she was thriving. And then my goddaughter, who is now a PhD in physical therapy, introduced me to the documentary Forks Over Knives and the lecture by Dr. Michael Greger, Uprooting the Cause of Disease. Now, Ruthie actually has in her text messages, she has the links for those videos, and she'll probably put them in the chat for you. If you smile at her and send her some hearts, she'll do that for you. Well, guess what? What if a healthy U-turn was possible for chronic diseases like cancer, heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune diseases? What if it was possible with just a few lifestyle changes? But what have we been told? We've been taught by the media and even some popular medical professionals on ads on the internet. Weight gain with age is normal. As you age, you're expected to degenerate and to have chronic diseases. Oh, that arthritis? Oh, it's just aging. You can expect to have more medications and manage your symptoms with more drugs and more medications and more procedures. Have you heard that? That's what we've been taught. But do you know what the experts have said? Do you know what the research actually says? Dr. Michael Greger is one of those researchers. He has a new documentary out, How Not to Die. And if you're interested in that, put Greger in the chat and we'll get back to you. He says the top killers in the United States, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, are largely preventable through diet. Dr. Dean Ornish, he says what we eat and how we live can actually transform our genes, literally changing the way our cells function, turning on disease fighting genes and turning off genes that promote cancer, heart disease, and other illnesses. Dr. John McDougall, the late great Dr. John McDougall, said, "It's the food." And here at Doctor's Orders, we say very simply, eat more fruits and vegetables. Well, why does this work when we've heard so many other things before? I'm glad you asked. Most disease is connected to chronic inflammation. Now, who's heard of chronic inflammation? If you've heard that something is ends in itis, condition ends in itis, then it means that the medical professionals believe that it's associated with inflammation. Now, we've heard about inflammation, and acute inflammation is it actually a healing process. So think about banging your leg, your shin, with a hammer. Ew. You see the signs of inflammation. It gets hot, red, swollen, painful, and you often lose function. I see you hobbling around with when you banged your leg with a hammer. But that kind of inflammation, it comes and it goes. It's part of the healing process. But if you were to bang yourself on the shin every single day, or maybe 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, then you could begin to see something developing called chronic inflammation. You see, you would not be allowing your body time to heal. And chronic inflammation is when inflammation happens, it's using the same cells that are involved in our immune system, and it just keeps going. If you're asking, well, explain a little bit more about this chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is from repeated exposure, and it could be external or it could be internal. So, external things like banging your foot with the hammer repeatedly, or radiation, or exposure over time to environmental toxins or pollution. All of those things can impact the body, and the body goes into a defense protective mode that just doesn't shut off, and that's chronic inflammation. But chronic inflammation can also start on the inside. You see, your body's metabolism, that's the way it works, is actually producing reactive oxygen species. Like, think of it like little sparks that come off of a fire. And our natural metabolism produces these sparks, but they need to be put out. And what we need to, if they don't get put out, they can trigger this ongoing inflammation that doesn't stop, that shows up in the form of different diseases. So, even though heart disease is different from cancer, is different from diabetes, is different from autoimmune diseases, the researchers tell us that behind each of those conditions, different forms of heart disease, different forms of diabetes, are inflammation, chronic inflammation. And how do we put out the inflammation? We need anti inflammatory foods. So there are foods that can cause inflammation, and there are foods that can put out inflammation. So, inflammatory foods would be high in fat, low in fiber, highly processed, high in salt, oil, and simple sugars. Anti inflammatory foods would be high in fiber, low in fat, low in calories. So, generally speaking, anti inflammatory foods would be plants because fiber only comes from plants. And that would be fruits, vegetables, grains, and legumes. How do I know that this works? Well, we can look at the work of the author Dan Buettner and his book The Blue Zones. He looked at places like Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, Nicoya, Costa Rica, Icaria in Greece, and Loma Linda right here in the United States in California. Those who were living traditional lives and eating traditional foods had very low or no instances of the 50 most common causes of death here in the United States. And also, we have the work of Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, who worked with heart patients and who had their patients recover. I don't know if Ruth can tell us a little bit of her story, but here's one person that we can talk to right now who might be able to give us just a minute or two of her story so that we can say, I know someone who has been able to reverse or change their health condition. Ruthie?
Hello. Thank you, Carla, for the opportunity to share. My story is amazing because the God I love is amazing and he healed my body. I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure, mitral valve prolapse, and bradycardia back in 1997. And I was on a long journey to heal my body. And I transformed what I was eating, what I was doing, got stored my stress and all those type of things. And then in 2016, my dear sweet friend, Coach Carla, who I call my personal Dr. Google, uh, she introduced me to Juice Plus, and I said, let me just try this stuff and see what happens. So 90 days in, my cholesterol was down 21 points. 1 year in, my cholesterol is down 62 points. And then on February 8th, 2018, which was 14 months after I added Juice Plus. And remember, we do not make any medical claims whatsoever because Juice Plus is just real food that has been encapsulated. And when I gave my body that additional nutritional boost or push on February 8th, 2018, the doctor said that I have a normal functioning heart. So I'm just grateful for that because my heart was so compromised and then God just turned it around. And it didn't happen overnight. I want people to know 1997 to 2018, that was 21 years, but it was 21 years that was worth the wait. And again, I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful to Carla for the introduction to Juice Plus. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to have you share that with us. So now you know someone who has experienced the reversal of heart disease because of lifestyle changes. But you can also look at the work of Dr. Joel Furman, Dr. Michael Greger, Dr. Neil Barnard, his Geico study, and his book, How to Reverse Diabetes. You can look at the patients of Dr. Brooke Goldner and Dr. Saray Stanzik, both of whom are doctors whose bodies recovered from autoimmune conditions. And they're also patients with cancer who experienced remission or improvement along with their treatment. And that is recorded in the book Radical Remission. So many of you may be saying, wow, I've never heard of this before. Did I can I see a hand? Can I see that hand? Yes. So many of you may be asking, what next? What shall I do? And I know that many of you are very busy. And so you want something that's fast, that can be done in minutes. Many of you want something that is simple to start and easy to keep going. So you want something that's repeatable, something that you can do every month, month after month, year after year. And you also want something that is budget friendly. You know, we know the cost of managing illness. We know the cost of caring for the condition diabetes. These are multi-million-dollar medical issues, procedures that cost $20,000 or $100,000 for the heart, or for circulatory problems, or brain problems, or rehabilitation, medications that cost thousands of dollars a month. So you want something that is budget friendly, and you want something that's easy to share with your family members, because we how many of us have picky eaters, or people who just are not ready to make big changes to their eating plan, but you know that you want them to help get healthy? Who gets this? So I want to invite you to um, to know, if it's all right with you, may I share a little bit about how we serve people? Wave at me if that's okay. This may not be for everyone, because not everyone is ready for a healthy U-turn, but it may be perfect for some of you, because some of you, like me and like my friend Ruthie, were sick and tired of being sick and tired. And we wanted to be fit and healthy. So if you want to be fit and healthy, type fit and healthy in the chat and repeat after me. I want to be fit and healthy. I want to be fit and healthy. Again, I want to be fit and healthy. So if there was a way that you could jumpstart your own healthy living journey to becoming fit and healthy, a way that was simple, that was fast, that was repeatable, that was budget friendly, and that you could share with your family, would you want to know about it later, or would you want to know about it now? Type in the chat. You see, Ruthie and I already know about it. But if you want to know about it, put now in the chat. So, if it's okay with you, I'd like to invite you to know what we do to help people. And one of them is inviting you to join our community. The Juice Plus Company has a motto of inspiring healthy living around the world. And we'd like to invite you to our free but private Facebook group, our Healthy Living Revolution, where you can ask questions, you can see recipes, you can hear from medical professionals, you can hear other people's stories, and you can share your story about your healthy living journey. And periodically, we have month long wellness resets. We had one in January. We'll probably have one starting soon, but it'll be in that group. And that will be a great opportunity for you to be among like minded people who also want a healthy U turn. Now, for many groups, they may pay $97 a month to be in that kind of group where you're getting constant information, support, and encouragement. But this one is free. The other thing that we do is give you access to the Juice Plus products. We told you we're part of a healthy living community, and we have access to the concentrated fruits and vegetables and berries that Ruth mentioned earlier. So 10 fruit, 10 vegetables, 10 berries. And these are grown in pristine condition. They're not picked until the peak of ripeness, so they're at the highest concentration of the nutrients. They are flash frozen and as soon as possible, and then concentrated into powders and placed in capsules. So you're getting highest quality fruits and vegetables. And because they're grown in pristine conditions, they have more nutrient content than the fruits and vegetables that you may normally have access to. We also have the omegas. Many people are trying to add fish oils to try to balance out their omegas. Did you know that fish don't make omegas? They actually concentrate them from the algae that they eat. But also concentrated in the meat of the fish are the toxins from the waters in which they live and the other fish that they may have eaten. So we bypass the middle fish and we have the vegetables and the algae and several other sources of omegas that are plant based so that you don't just get omega 3, you get omega 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9, a range of omegas as they occur in nature. Not only that, you have access to our complete shakes. It can be used as a meal replacement or a healthy snack on the go. And I love these, the way it is supplied to us so that you can take it with you. It's great for traveling. And you don't have to stop at a fast food outlet. You can add this to water or plant based milk and have fiber, have protein, have vegetables, all in a simple shake. And it's great because it does not give you that spike and drop that many powdered drinks provide for you. So, because it has the natural plant fibers, you also have access to our Luminate. I had it a second ago. Here we go. This is the way you can get energy that is with calm and focus. It contains things like Alpinia galanga, lion's mane, cordycepsis, sage, and coffee berry, to name a few. It's a wonderful, refreshing drink if you just add it to about 8 ounces of water. And now we go on to the superfood. Remember the fruits, vegetables, and berries in the capsules? Well, you now have access to it without the capsule, and you can place it in water, and it too can be a refreshing drink with 30 fruits and vegetables. A wonderful way to add the nutrients that your body needs to eliminate the chronic inflammation, to reverse the inflammation. And not to forget our newest product, the Super Biome. How many of you know someone with digestive issues? I do. I was that person. Thank you. And what the researchers have found is that many of us, especially if we've been exposed to antibiotics, do not have a wide range of variety in terms of our gut microbiome, the bacteria in our gut. Now, this is very important because chronic inflammation can be impacted and reversed, can be impacted by our gut microbiome. Our gut microbiome is part of our immune system. So, by improving the gut diversity, we are contributing to an improvement in our inflammation system, our immune system. But the bacteria need food. And so we have the bacteria, um, strains of the bacteria also need 5 of these fibers, and so we have the bacteria and the prebiotic that is the fiber to support them. The probiotic comes in a delayed release capsule so that it can bypass the gut acid and get into our intestines. And then you add the fiber. You just put it into water, again, another refreshing drink, and you can provide the fiber that your bacteria need. So you have access to the fruits and vegetables through the Juice Plus products. The person invited you cares for you. And that's why they told you about this event and about these products. But you also get access to our free Facebook group. But that's not all. That's not all that we do. The free Facebook group, the Juice Plus products, we also offer you free coaching. I'm offering people 5 45-minute sessions, just one on one, to help them jumpstart their healthy living journey. Because most of us know the right thing to do, but we haven't been doing it. And so I help you formalize your goals and get started. So you have the Facebook group so that you can be part of the community. You have access to the Juice Plus products, and now you also have access to coaching. But that's not all. We also have an opportunity for you to experience immersion with us. So we have upcoming events in Phoenix, Arizona, and Waynesboro, Georgia. We have the Juice Plus Live event in Phoenix, April 16th through the 18th. And we encourage you to ask the person who invited you so that you can join us there. And then the Paget Boot Camp, May 29th through the 31st in Georgia, where you can, it's a more intimate gathering, but we can ask questions, we can hear from medical professionals, and we can see and touch people whose lives have been impacted. So join our community. You can have access to the Juice Plus products. You can have access to 5 free sessions of coaching, and you can also come with us and experience immersion at our events. So speak to the person who invited you and say you want access to the Facebook group, to the products, to the coaching, and you want to come with us. And by the way, the Pagets, when they return, could be coming to a city near to you. Now, I hope that you've learned something about the diseases that we're facing. Heart disease, the number one killer, cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's, autoimmune conditions, all of them are connected with chronic inflammation. And if you change how you eat and make some lifestyle changes, you can make a difference in how your body responds to in all those conditions. And we are here to assist you in that process. We're not making claims about healing or treating any of those conditions. We are saying that if you make lifestyle changes, the research shows you can have a healthy U turn and you can have a different outcome. So, what would you say? Do you want to be sick and tired of being sick and tired? or are you determined to be fit and healthy? If you want to be fit and healthy, then I encourage you to listen to what we say every week on Doctor's Orders, because my friends are going to unmute so that they can say it for you.
Eat more fruits and vegetables.
That's right. You can get started right away by eating more fruits and vegetables, and call the person who invited you, because they care a lot for you. And we look forward to seeing you next time on Doctor's Orders.